High school is the right time for students to begin thinking about what career choices they may want to pursue after graduation. Recently, Hatboro Horsham High School held their second Futures Fair, which gave students the opportunity to explore possible careers with companies located near Horsham. This year's theme, Making It Here, focused on connecting students with innovators, entrepreneurs, and post-secondary institutions. We'll explore this dynamic group of businesses who spend time with students explaining their unique career opportunities. The second annual Futures Fair is up next. One year ago, the Futures Fair was launched focusing on green jobs. The success of that event sparked another fair this year. The school district, along with its partners from the Hatboro Horsham Education Foundation and the Greater Horsham Chamber of Commerce, pulled their resources and knowledge of the community together and came up with this year's theme, Making It Here, with innovation and entrepreneurship.
Our working title for this fair was called Making It Here, and we want students to get that double meaning. You can make a good living here, you can live here and raise your own family here. So we're trying to connect students to the awareness of what all is available in Horsham. I mean, if you look around, you can see how much diversity in professions.
Making it here, making it in Horsham. It's an entendre, a double entendre. In other words, making the product here in Horsham and also for the kids to be aware that they can make it here and be a success in Horsham.
We're hoping that the entrepreneurs that are at the fair today will be able to impress upon the students the variety of types of careers that you can get involved in, and also the variety and the type of path you might go through to get to that career.
There were a variety of companies representing 5 academic pathways for students to see. They include pathways in arts and communication, business, finance, IT, engineering and technology, human services, and health sciences. Also present were post-secondary institutions offering students a pathway to obtain the skills they will need to meet future employer demands.
Not everyone has to have a PhD. Not everyone needs a 4-year degree. There are many levels on the career ladder, but everybody needs some kind of secondary, post-secondary training. So we want them to see there's an opportunity for everyone.
Students from 8th to 12th grades had ample opportunity to ask questions to the innovators and entrepreneurs in attendance. Many of the entrepreneurs present are from the Horsham area. Each has their own unique story of how they launched their business.
Well, we're Brennan Danes and we do healthy fast food, and it all started, I guess, 4 years ago. I was in college and I actually put on a ton of weight. When I was in high school, I was on our crew team over at LaSalle, and I could eat whatever I wanted, and it didn't make a difference. When I got to college, I started putting on a lot of weight, and it was always really frustrating because I couldn't eat healthy on the go. Especially I traveled a lot after college, and it was just putting pounds on. So I decided I wanted to create a brand or a business where every option was healthy and model it after conventional fast food. I signed our lease and I was, I guess, 24 years old. And usually when you start a business, especially in retail like us, you need like $100,000, $70,000. We started with $12,000. So getting that capital was impossible. I actually gained the capital by working on a farm for 6 months, got $12,000, took out 2 credit cards, and scraped everything together. We wrote letters to every company asking for donations. I hired interns. I had brothers help. We painted everything ourselves. So we started with a very, 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 very small amount of capital, and nobody was lending money right when we wanted to start. So we had to do it completely different, but in hindsight, that was the best thing that ever happened to us, because now we don't owe anybody money. We don't have any partners. We're not loaning to anybody. So
I went to Hatboro Horsham a long time ago. Loved my school years here, and then many years later I returned to teach. So I was at that time one of 2 art teachers. So I first started out as an elementary school teacher, then I taught art at my alma mater and had my children, and Ben and Katie are now 28 and 25 years old. So I left to stay home with them, and decided that when I went back to teaching, or when I went back to working full-time, that I wanted to try something on my own. I just wasn't sure exactly what that was going to be. And because I loved art, I knew it would be some connection there, but I looked at children's book illustrating, I looked at textile design, I looked into all kinds of things, but someone told me, I started making my own Christmas cards, and somebody said, you know what, you should look into that. And I went to the National Stationery Show in New York, found out about that industry, and one card at a time now, I built a pretty good-sized business. I have 20 employees, and I'm located in Horsham.
Well, I started in the fitness industry 20 years ago as a personal trainer, knowing that I wanted to get involved in management. So I got interested in the field, grounded myself with the knowledge of all the overall, different areas of a small business, got experience, and then had the opportunity to open this club here in Horsham. I aligned myself with some partners with a huge history, long history in the fitness industry, and were able to convince the banks that we were going to make it work.
If students were thinking about one day becoming their own boss, these entrepreneurs were the people to speak to. Each found a different pathway to launch their business, and each person offered advice on how to get there.
I think if you have to 100% buy in, 100% believe in it. With me, I think I'm probably over Brendan Danes like 100 hours a week. I don't even know, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So even when I don't schedule myself, I'm there. I think you have to 100% buy in. Number two, I would say is for me, with all those obstacles in the beginning, even now, with trying to get more locations so fast, I think you literally have to not allow yourself to think that it can't happen. So you have to completely I don't even think that we're not going to get that we're not going to have 1,000 locations in 5 years or 10,000 in 20 years. I just won't let myself think that it won't happen.
I've often talked to people that want to start with this big business plan and these big ideas, and that's not how I did it. I built it very slowly. I built it basically one greeting card at a time. And for me, that really worked. And I think you have to be patient, you have to be flexible, because you have to be true to yourself, but still open to what's going to work in the marketplace and be able to change to adapt to that. I think you have to always follow the golden rule. And if you meet your deadlines and if you're kind to the people that you work with, that's not a joke. It really goes a long way.
My initial advice would be to just follow your dream. If you have an interest, have a passion for something, just go out there and pursue it. Network and talk with as many individuals in the business community as you can. Share your ideas, get their input, and follow it.